Hi, I'm Linda. Thanks for joining me today. I just finished up a really pretty sunset. It's got some awesome colors in there, alizarin crimson, a little bit of phthalo blue, the beautiful sun, and the waves across the ocean. I even put some little birds in there. It was so much fun and easy to do. I'll show you step by step. So get your paints out, stream my video, and let's get started. So here are the paints and supplies I used. Acrylics, cad yellow, white, and red, and one small round piece of contact paper, liquid clear for the base on the canvas, oil paints with titanium white, black, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, orange, cad yellow, and red. So now got a paper plate and I've got some acrylic white there, and I'm going over gently with the cap of one of my oil paints. Just want to create a ring, a sun ring right on that black canvas, and I'm going to go a little bit above the halfway mark. So I've got just a little bit on that cap. I'm going to just tap that canvas there, lift it off, and I've got a little white moon. So now I'm filling in the rest of the moon or the sun with acrylic white. Let that dry, and then I went into cad yellow, and I'm going to go over the top of that, kind of go all the way around in there. And while that is still wet, I'm going to dip into a little bit of red. I'm going to create an orange, kind of an orange sun there. But I'm going to go all the way around, leave a little bit of that white edge. Just go all fill that in. And then when that's dry, I'm taking a little piece of the round contact paper that we cut out, 1 inch, right over the top of that sun. Right over the top. Seal it down real good. And then I'm going into liquid clear, and I'm going to go over the whole canvas, the whole thing. Just watch the little hairs because they tend to come off, especially with liquid clear. Just get it all on the best you can. So I'll be taking a shop rag, blue shop towel, and wiping all that excess oil off. So now I'm going in right into the alizarin crimson. I'm going to go right over that sun. Just nice long strokes right over the sun, and a little ways at the top there I'm going to put phthalo blue up there. Phthalo blue on the left and a little bit of alizarin crimson on the right. More phthalo blue up there on the left and a little more crimson on the right. And I'm just going to work my way down the center, because that's where all the color is going to be when I apply the yellow. All the way down. And then I'll take a dry brush, clean dry brush, and I'll just brush across so I keep the lines nice and straight. I'm going into cad yellow, back and forth, go right over that sun, just a little bit. It's going to turn rather orange in the beginning. The more yellow you put on, the more it'll brighten up. Just start in the middle of that sun and just work outward. And you can brush across with a clean dry brush. Or you can put a little more yellow on. Now I'm going to take off that little round piece of contact paper, and you'll see it's pretty bright there. So I have gone over it with some cad yellow to make it a little more yellow, and I did move my camera. The sunlight coming through the window was just making it look really washed out. So anyway, now I'm taking cad yellow on a fan brush and just doing circular motions all around that sun, all the way around. Just keep going that way. Don't stop or go across. Just keep going the same direction. Now I'm taking a clean, dry 1 inch and just softening the inside of that up. Just ever so light touches, circular, really, really soft. And if you don't like it, you can go back and put more yellow on. Now I'm taking a nice 2-inch dry and I'm brushing straight across, blending that in, creating a little bit of yellow on both sides, just pushing down a little harder. Just create your own sunset halo there. So I am adding a little more yellow there. I wanted to brighten it up just a little bit. Just gonna go around the outside of that sun, just a little bit, and then brushing across with a clean, dry brush. Softening that up, trying to blend that in. I'm trying to create like a halo effect in there. It's really hard to do, but gotta keep working at it, and you'll get it. So now I'm going underneath that with straight yellow, picking up some of that alizarin crimson, just creating some cloud movement under there. Just brushing across, keeping my lines pretty straight, and then taking a clean dry brush and just lightly going over the top, very, very lightly. If you don't have a lot of paint on there, it's not going to turn into mud. So we just do it very, very lightly. So I'm taking some straight white now. I'm going to put a little cloud under there. Actually, it's a little bit of yellow added that. It's a very, very pale yellow under there. But I'm putting an imaginary cloud underneath that. Softening up the bottom edge with a clean, dry brush. I tap it off on paper towel just about every other time there, so I don't have too much paint on there, because it will pick up some of that alizarin crimson. And so I think I'm going to add some little rays off to the side, some sun rays. Going to cad yellow there again. And with a little more white, added a little more white. I'm going to put a little cloud right in front of that sun. Just go inside and then out. And that's it. You don't want to go back into that sun area. Okay, so now I'm in straight white fan brush, going into that phthalo blue area there we put. I'm going to make some clouds up there with the corner of my brush, doing little circular motions, and then with the clean dry corner I'm going to go back underneath that. I'm going to buff that out, keeping my lines pretty straight, trying to give it a billowy looking effect of clouds. And you can put as many as you want there. If you want more, which I think I am going to put another row underneath that. Such a pretty blue. And just do little circles. And a little bit on the other side. Gonna pick up alizarin crimson on that side. It's gonna be more of a pink clouds. The clean dry corner of the brush there, just buff that out. Bring some of that pink down a little bit. Keeping my lines pretty straight as I end up. Alright, so now I'm making a dark lavender with phthalo blue and a little bit of alizarin crimson, real dark. I'm going to create some background mountain hills way in the distance, right underneath that sun, way in the back. Doesn't have to be real heavy, just something real light on both sides. And then underneath that, I'm going to put a real pretty, some wave action in the water, bright sun hitting those waves. Even using a little liner brush, give it a little more definition. And so I'll start making my waves underneath that sun, starting out small, gradually widening up a little bit, but not too wide. I don't want to go all the way to the sides and sides of my canvas. I want to leave some dark areas there, edges. But I'm just doing back and forth, a little bit of cad yellow. I'll be adding a little orange, maybe even a touch of red. I'm just putting some base work there, color. Then I'll be softening a little bit of that up with a clean dry, but not real heavy though. I won't brush across real heavy. Going into a deep lavender, the alizarin crimson, a little bit of phthalo blue, and I'm going across about from halfway down all the way to the bottom, just sporadic, darker lines in there. And then I'm going to add my yellow, a little bit of orange and red. Just keep putting some lines across, lines. Some darker areas. We'll be highlighting a lot of that. Just working my way down to the bottom. Just keeping the lines fairly straight. I'm adding a little highlight halfway down with some very light yellow. Now the upper part underneath that sun is going to have a lot more tiny little wave lines, yellow lines, because the light is hitting that the brightest. So I want to make sure I have plenty of little lines up there that looks water movement, you know, little waves. Just keep lightening underneath that sun. Some more of that dark lavender color. Start pulling in some of that dark lavender from the sides inward with a fan brush, keeping a nice point of waves going inward. I want to keep those outside edges really dark lavender, which is not going to affect your yellows or your reds. That's what I love about this dark lavender. And just keeping the lines fairly straight. You can add, or if you want to add more red in there, more orange, just stand up, look back, just back up and look. Take a really good look, and you'll see where you need to add color and balance. And those dark lines, you can go all the way across if you want. Just gives a little different color value, I guess, depth. Working my way down, adding a little darker color, lighter color I should say, at the bottom, pushing up with my fan brush and getting some of those yellow highlights to show down there. Putting in more highlights in the waves. A little more in the center. And squiggle those little lines in there. Ever so light. Gives it sparkle. Now I'm going into straight black with a little bit of thinner, just a little bit. So I'm going to make a few little birds up there in the distance. Little M shapes. Gotta hang on to something. You don't want to lay your hand over the canvas. But just steady your hand and make some little M's. It's real small in the distance. Maybe a little bit larger toward as you come forward. I really enjoy doing this one. It's so peaceful. It's pretty. And I hope you enjoy it too. So until next time, happy painting, and God bless.